So, this buff surprised me way more than I thought it would. And in hindsight, it makes so much goddamn sense why this buff changes her this much. So, Medea has always been known for having potato damage on her MP. Before MP1, her MP damage was 12,000. That is some characters' face cards. At MP5, it was 20,000. Now, why was this? Even though she had a buff MP, she had no damage. Like, if we look here, her base attack isn't that low. Like, I think her attack is even higher than Lily's. Wait. No. But Lily's is, like, not even far off. So, her base attack, honestly, isn't atrocious for a 3-star. But the thing is, like, buffed MP, but no damage anywhere else. Battery, heal, MP gain, and a cleanse. This is the kit of a support, of a utility servant. You were never supposed to be doing much damage with her. But here's the issue. These are all the single targets out there. But this also has the buff damage. Limited, permanent, but an SSR, welfare, but no battery, story locked, permanent. All the single target casters, they probably weren't going to get the job done, except Medea. She's the only one that, like, was easy for everyone to get, and worked with a lot of people's supports. Thing is, she never had damage of herself. So she was so heavily reliant on her supports that it's like, it's like you are trying to haul trash bags to the garbage can, like 1,000 feet away. And instead of carrying it, you could just use a dolly and get it done in like 5 minutes over, like, dragging that garbage and smelling it and possibly it, like, breaking on your way to the garbage can over 30 minutes. So, yes, people had access to, like, both options, but it's like most people were not even investing in these characters. They would go for Melt, they would go for Berserker. But here's the thing that Medea had that those characters don't have. She has the big battery. She could MP whenever you needed her to. If it was to do damage, if you had enough damage, she could just take out a wave and, like, she'd be somewhat self-sufficient. For multi-core purposes, like, this buff honestly is awesome. Because not only does it make your other art DPS better, she gives 50% arts to the entire party and 20 to the party, but 50 for herself. So the equivalent of a Castoria arts buff on herself. So again, not only does she make the AoE DPS loop better, she'll also be able to actually clear the wave a lot easier too. So again, she goes from 12k to 20 as the base. And then we go from 18 to 30. This is more impactful than an MP buff. This is, like, honestly more impactful of a buff, getting like a 50% damage increase than a 25, which is like the normal. Like MP1 or MP2 becomes MP1. Yeah, that right here is 25. We're not talking 25. We're talking about MP1 becomes MP5. So yeah, like, if you have like a stacked Medea, which isn't fucking hard, you would need like a maxed out Cersei to really be like worth it. But like, even right now, I don't think Cersei, like, I think Medea just power crept the shit out of Cersei. because Medea just works. She works better with the teams you're going to be running with her. Now I do think Cersei is gonna scale way better with supports, especially if you're trying to like Buster farm, single core farm. I do think you'll probably like have better luck because you'll actually have carding to fall back on. And Medea, that's gonna be her weakness. Again, she's a 3-star, and it's arts. You're not gonna be critting, so if you don't kill with the MP, you're kind of shit out of luck. Sir, now you could do Queen of Sheba, but again, she's limited, and she does not have 100% battery on demand. So yeah, like, and again, this is for multicore. This is very, very helpful because again, you can pop this on turn 1. Your AOE goes first. Your AOE gets a 50% MP gain. They're probably going to be good for turn 3. So as long as Medea has the damage, like, you're good. And by the way, here's MP5 Medea with MLB Black Rail, 63,000. But let's do apples to apples and give Shu-10 this and see what her damage is like. Sorry, I missed clicking. Yeah. Shu-10 does double the damage. Is that a surprise? It shouldn't be. Buster, other card buffs to multiply into it. It shouldn't be a surprise. But how many supports would it take for Shu-10 to do that in a normal farming node? That's like what my comparison is. So yeah, with this buff, Shu-10 needs a buff at this point. It's like Shu-10 kind of could get away with it because Medea was like dog shit, but that's not an excuse. Like, were either of them hitting like max damage? No, but it would be way easier to get Shu-10 for Medea to probably do a back-to-back MP, because again, like, there is a battery here. Yeah, 2 AoE Castorias. You pop this skill, and you have mana loading. You're at 100. You MP, and then you can use this and MP back-to-back. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, sorry. No, you can't convince me that this buff is not what she actually needed. I'm honestly on the train now that she doesn't need another MP buff. I think we were complaining about the wrong thing. Now, is her scaling still off? Yes. I'm pretty sure her MP scaling is still off. And again, we'll check that in a second. $600. Yeah, no. So, yes. Her MP scaling is off. Technically, she has an unbuffed MP scaling. So, am I open to her getting like an MP buff in the future? Absolutely. More buffs, not less. But does she need this now? No. I do think like the second Shu-10 gets an MP buff or gets something that lets her MP more, they might look at giving her like actually fixing this. But as I don't even want to say a temporary fix. This is like this is honestly a gameplay changing buff. She's functionally a different character because she realistically can MP like back-to-back turns much more regularly. Yeah. What a time to be alive. FGO is not only getting like way more modern with like basic systems, they are like turning old characters, giving them animation updates, and turning a character like Medea that is constantly been shit on for good reason too, and like actually made her like useful. Now, am I telling people that they need to like go level the Medea up to 120 and now she's your best single target? No, but I mean, like, if you need someone like Medea, like she's much more viable. It's no longer just like Nidocris that is like super universal for her use, because of the 100 battery. Medea being able to do back to back turns, even if her damage isn't again, even if her damage isn't super great, the fact that she actually can do it back to back means all you are worried about is damage. You don't care. Like again, you don't care about refund. She's one hit. She wasn't gonna refund much in the first place, but now you actually take advantage of that fact. Uh, yeah, no, I did not think I was gonna think this buff was better than Muramasa's, but I truly think Medea's buff is significantly better than Muramasa's. But again, Muramasa, them buffing him, his skills were not the problem. Medea, her skills, in hindsight, definitely were the problem. But on low stars, we kind of just accept that. We kind of just accept shitty skills because they're low stars. But FGO is saying, nope, nope, low stars can have even more broken skills. Fuck the 5 stars. We made Kucaster. All right. Peace, chat. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.